You know what? When you change your story, you can change your life. Now, the first time I heard that, I didn't really know what that meant until I proved that for myself. And there's this famous quote by Henry Ford that says, you know, if you believe you can or if you believe you can't, you're right. And depending on the one that you believe is going to become the story of your life.
That's quite something. We had quite a few people here. Wow, this is pretty crazy. Although I probably shouldn't have used that word since I'm going to be talking about mental illness. But how many of you people are crazy? Anyone? Yes, yes. Very good, very good. Wacko. Not playing with a full deck. You got a few screws loose. You know what? The whole world's kind of crazy if you've noticed. But I want to put a different perspective on mental illness. You see, I don't believe anxiety and depression are illnesses, like on the same order of cancer and diabetes. What I do believe, what I've come to believe, is that these symptoms of anxiety and depression are just that. They are symptoms of one thing that all of us are going through, and that is the symptom of disconnection. And I think the state of the planet is right now sort of a symptom of that. But I'd like to ask a few questions first. It's a scientific study that I created. How many of you have felt the ecstasy of falling in love? How many of you have felt the excruciating pain of heartbreak? How many of you have ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, "Damn, I look pretty hot today"? How many of you have ever looked in the same mirror and said to yourself, "Damn, I look like shit today"? You are what you love. You aren't what loves you. Now think about that. You are what you love. You aren't what loves you. And we get caught up as adults. We go up into our head and we start looking for love outside of ourselves. How many of you feel that there's something bigger in you that wants to come out? How many? Like to create something, or to do something, or to say something. I kind of liken depression to burn victims, you know, severe burn victims. You've got the before and after pictures and they're unrecognizable, right? Well, that's how I felt. I felt like that on the inside. I didn't even know who the hell I was anymore. And I felt like my whole life was crumbling. Our acting teacher, who was a wonderful guy, he kept telling me, he said, "Frank, get out of your head. Get out of your head." And I was in my head big time because I was covering up the feelings of anxiety and depression so much I didn't want anybody to see it. I didn't want people to see it because I was ashamed of it. The only thing we're really addicted to is to our thoughts, to our beliefs. That's the only thing. Our beliefs and ideas and concepts about ourselves and about the world and about life and what we can do and what we can't do and how to behave and how not to behave are just stories and beliefs and beliefs and beliefs that we've never questioned. We've downloaded them. They're not even our beliefs. We picked them up from our parents and from schools and teachers and all the way down the line. The only thing you're addicted to is your beliefs. And the guy sitting next to me says, "Well, thank God for that. For a minute there, I thought I had to give up drinking." People who are going through anxiety and depression, it's not something, I don't believe that something wrong with you. Because when you go through something as devastating as anxiety and depression, and when it's chronic and it stays with you, you figure you're flawed, you're broken, there's something not right with you. I want to put a different perspective on it. I want to say maybe it's something right within you that's trying to break through, that's trying to come out. But for that to happen, we have to feel safe. We have to feel safe with one another.
Because basically everybody wants to create something. And of course, when we try to create something, what inevitably comes up are these blocks that come up. Because if there were no blocks, we'd already have what we wanted. So what are these blocks? And basically they're nothing but beliefs, they're stories. And mind method, I think, is, for me, probably the closest thing to what I've discovered is a magic pill that we know doesn't exist, but if it's the closest thing I've found to it. Change your story, and you can change your life.